this is Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. So I've just been taking stock of my various projects, and as some of you will know, I have had a blog since diagnosis, about a month after diagnosis, and it's been really enjoyable, and I've made over 600 posts. I just had a look today, and that's phenomenal. I can't believe I have had 600 posts about my journey with Parkinson's. But it's been an absolute lifesaver. It's given me somewhere to send my thoughts and feelings, and I know from the feedback that I've had that people feel that it has value for them as well. And I think the value of my blog and now my podcast is that I'm just me living with Parkinson's and telling my story. There are plenty of books written by experts on Parkinson's, and they're great, and we can learn a lot from them, and interviews and podcasts and things. We can hear from experts about the latest treatments, the Mediterranean diet, things that would be helpful for us. Exercise, there's lots of exercise gurus who have worked on special programs for people with Parkinson's. But there is a word that is often attached to those people that are, giving lectures and holding workshops, and that is the term of expert. Sure, they've probably studied really hard, they've worked for years, they've maybe done experiments, they have a history of working with Parkinson's, and they have a level of expertise that is pretty high, most of them. But for me, the real experts are the people like you and me, the people who support those of us with Parkinson's, the people ourselves who have Parkinson's, and our families. One of the reasons I started doing the podcast as well as the blog is that I wanted the opportunity to be able to record interviews. Part of my history, many years ago, I did a broadcasting degree course, and I had been a co-host on a breakfast show. After that, I became a social worker for 20 years, and that also built on my interviewing skills that I learnt at my broadcasting course. So we learnt to interview people, and so that was useful in my social work degree, and then my social work degree has helped me to understand people a bit more and how to work with them. So yes, the reason I wanted to go to podcast was not only to be able to give myself a voice, but also I would like to give others a voice. I would be really keen, if anybody was up for it, to interview people on my podcast, to talk about their journey, what it means to them, what needs are being fulfilled, what aren't. There'll be different questions that will work out on the way. Now, I'd be really, really happy if somebody were able to agree to be interviewed by me. The interviews and the podcasts are never going to be very long. 20 minutes seems to be the longest, and you don't need to worry about the ums and ahs and the sort of stumbling over words that we all do, because those can be edited out. What I would like to do is to be able to give people with Parkinson's and people that support them a voice on my podcast, so that there will hopefully be some people that are willing to do this. It can be anonymous, and I would go through the questions or the type of questions with the person before recording them. I think it would be a richer process, a richer podcast, if I can get others to agree to be interviewed by me. Because my experience is just my lived experience. Everybody's is different. And I'm part of a group that is an Australia and New Zealand support group online on Facebook. And we share some really good stuff with each other. And I would really love to hear those people's voices, to record them. And if they want to be anonymous, that's absolutely fine. but I would really love it if I could get some people that would be happy to be interviewed to add a richness to this podcast beyond what I can provide just on my own. If you're interested, put a comment on my podcast and let me know how to contact you. I just want to stress that I am going to be guided by what a person is comfortable with. If they need to be anonymous, that's fine. If there are certain topics that are off limits, that's fine. If you want to talk about your employment and how it's been affected, that would be great. But also, if you don't want to talk about work, that's great as well. I'd be interested in how soon people told others about their diagnosis and whether they've told any adult children, their friends, like I said, their workplace. And if you are at all interested, I'd encourage you to look up my podcast on Spotify or YouTube or through my blog, and look for the interview with a lady called Louise Taylor, who's a lawyer, and she's given a really great interview with me talking about enduring power of attorney and wills. And she's a great speaker, and it's a really good interview, and it will give you some idea of how I am with people when I interview them and what to expect. So I'd be really keen if anybody was interested in being interviewed about how Parkinson's has affected your life and to get our voices out there. I hope to hear from some of you, and I would really honour and respect you for giving me the opportunity to interview you for this podcast. Whether you agree to be interviewed or not, I wish you well and hope you continue to follow my podcast. This has been Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. Kia kaha, be brave, be strong, be you.